I'll show you another way to have them move their feet, and it's a way to apply pressure. I'm not going to whack her, I'm not going to beat on her, but I'm going to ask her to move that front end. Okay, she stepped across. Now move the hind end. Okay, it's almost disengaged. Let's try it again. There was the disengagement. Now you see she's pretty nervous about the stick. So we're going to desensitize her. We're going to move the stick back and forth, back and forth. I want her to tell me that she's not too worried about that stick. I'm looking for her to blink. I'm looking for, she just did. She just blinked her eyes. There's several signs of relaxation. You want them to blink their eyes. You want them to lower their head. You want them to lick or chew, or you want them to cock a hind foot. Any one of those, there's the licking and chewing right there. Any one of those is a sign of relaxation. Okay, she's a little bit tense with this, so we'll rub her. We'll keep rubbing her. Let's see if she'll give us a sign of relaxation here. I bet she does. She's wanting to snooze. There was a blink right there. Wasn't much, but it was a blink. Now, the desensitizing with the rope that I was talking about, before you want to try that, having her follow a lead, get out in front of them with the lead rope and just whip that lead rope and let it go up and over their shoulders, get it over their head, take it the other way, get it over the ears. Try to hang that dude on their ears. You want to desensitize them to that rope. You want them sleeping through that rope, being all over them. You can see that she's very desensitized to the rope, so for her that's not an issue. Okay, before we drop the rope all the way behind her like I had shown you, you want to desensitize her to the rope being tossed across her back. So you throw the rope, you pull it over, throw it, pull it over, throw it, pull it over. She's about as desensitized as she can be. The legs, you want to bring the rope in, swing it, have it wrap around the legs. This is how you desensitize her in the rear to dropping that rope off of her hip like I showed you earlier. When a horse can stand like this to the rope, they're desensitized. That's not a problem. She's about as good as she can be. Another thing you can do with desensitizing, take some coordination, a little bit of skill to toss that rope. You can use this string on the stick. It's a little bit easier. What you do is you bring the stick over and point it right where you want the string to fall across her back. Just bring the stick over and point, and the string will follow. Bring it around and point that back leg, the string will follow. Bring it around and point, the string will follow. But this is just another way to go through the desensitizing exercises. Okay, one thing that I tried to get her to do and did not do well at all was get her to back up, because she was in the middle of a tizzy. So we'll try right now to get her to back up. I'll show you how you would do it if it was not a little bit of a discipline move like she was getting earlier. Come here, step two. Okay, she doesn't want to move, so we'll change her plan just a little bit. I'm going to take the string off of this, and I'll show you how to get them an easy way to get them to step out on the lead. I'll get on this side. I'll get on this side. With my body, I'm going to ask her. Okay, there she went. Had she not stepped forward, we'd take this and we'd prod her from behind. We'd prod her from behind, just very gently. And that'll push her forward. That'll push her forward to use this stick. And you just, all it takes is that much pressure to push her forward. We go to this side with my body. I'm going to ask her to go. She doesn't want to go, so we're going to push her with the stick. And that's all it takes. I'm not going to reach back there and whack her. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure back there so she knows that stick is back there. Stick's got her nervous. Stick's got her nervous. So I'll show her that there's no reason to fear this stick. All it's doing here is extending my arm's reach. Okay, I've got to push her eye. Got to push her eye. Push her face. Then I'm going to ask her on her leg to step across, and there she goes. So now we'll see if with the stick, there we go. With the stick, get her to lead out. There she goes. Another way to get them to lead out when you first start, if they sol up like she's doing right now. Let's say that you're starting off. Say that you're starting off and you're out here and you're asking her to come to you and just come on, come on, come on. Now she's going to do it. But let's say that she sols up there and she just says, I'm not going to come. Oh, stickers out here. She says, I'm not going to come. I'm not going to untrack. What you do, I call it unwinding them. You take her and you start her in a circle. She'll almost always move sideways. So you start her in a circle and then you wind her out of the circle. Initially, you'll probably only get one step, maybe two, before she sols up. But if you'll wind her out of it, then that will get her feet moving forward for you when you think she's not going to move at all. Now we'll try the back up. A lot of different ways to teach the back up. We'll try this one. I'm going to start with the least amount of pressure I can put on there. I'm going to ask her to drop her head. I'm going to ask her to move her feet. There's one step backwards. I immediately release the pressure. I tell her she's a good girl. Give her praise. She gives me a big old sigh. I don't know if you could hear that, but she took a deep breath and gave me a big old sigh. Okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to ask her to back up. I'm going to put the pressure on. I'm going to ask her to move her feet. There we go. She stepped back 2 steps. Wasn't pretty at all, but she did it. Now, if you'll notice, a lot of times, I mean, the whole time I'm out here, there's little things that I'm doing like this. There's little things that I'm doing to get her over the humps. She doesn't want to face me. She doesn't want to give to that halter. So just standing here talking, I'm always asking her to give to the halter. A little bit of pull on her face. See her pulling against me? I don't know if you can see it, but she's pulling against me. She does it all the time, and that's part of her trust issues. But that's something that you want to do. You always want that horse to give you 2 eyes. You want them facing you. You don't want them standing there looking off, following dogs and paper sacks blowing through the brush. Whenever you're with the horse, you want the horse looking at you and paying attention to you. You don't yank on them, you don't jerk them, you just